Hello, hello. Welcome to Unique Couple Sunday Night Live. It is just great to see all of you here. And guess what? I have Latoya Lewis in the studio with me all the way. Oh, you're going to hear from her. I'm just so excited because when I see Latoya, I see weddings, I see beauty, I see couples getting together, I see um, families getting started. It's just so exciting. She'll tell you more about who she is, and you'll get excited as well because during this time we really get excited. Excited. So we're talking about the biggest wedding decoration mistakes that we make when we're planning our wedding, when we are, doing a whole lot of stuff, but definitely as a couple, sometimes when, for those of you who are engaged, who are thinking about getting married, or maybe you're married and you want to do a renewal, this show is definitely for you. So we'll be talking about those big mistakes that couples make as it relates to decorations for their wedding. And of course, we want you to avoid those mistakes. I am Linda Wright Patrick, happy to be here with you on Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. Go ahead and share. Let someone know, someone who's engaged, someone who's married, someone who is planning an event. Let them know that they need to tune into this conversation tonight. Go ahead, Live Squad, if you're watching here with us now, go ahead and hashtag Live Squad. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you, Julie. Thanks for watching with us. Kathy, and yes, go ahead. Let us know what were your wedding colors. Go put those in the chat as well. What was your wedding theme, or how long have you been married? Yes. Hello, Karen. Thanks for joining us as well. So, special guest in the house, all the way from Freeport, Grand Bahama, and she will tell you more about herself. She just creates magic with her hands when she decorates. I know from personal experience. And we just want to know, like, what are some of those mistakes couples make? And I know when we got married, how much years ago? It feels like yesterday, actually. When we got married, I made some of these. I'm thinking I possibly made some of these mistakes because when I think now, like hindsight, or like when I'm thinking back to some of the things that I did, I'm like, really? Did I do that? Oh, that wasn't really, that wasn't a good decision. So, Latoya, hello, how are you doing?
Good evening, Linda and listening audience. I'm great. Nice to be
Awesome.
here with you.
Awesome. So go ahead, let our viewing audience know a little about who you are. Let us know about who you are, the lady behind the magic.
Okay, I am Latoya Lewis is the name, better known as Toya. Most people call me. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of two. Wife I've been for 15, going on 15 years now, and a mother of two. I have a 17-year-old and a 10-year-old. And the wedding business, I've been in this business now almost the same amount of time, approximately 14 years, doing weddings and events of all kinds here in Freeport. Mhm.
Awesome. Wow. So it's like you went from being single to being married to doing the wedding and doing all of that. That's great. So when we think
Yes.
about weddings and all of these things, when we think about the mistakes, I know over the course of what, 15 years, you would have seen your share of mistakes. But
Yes.
I don't know if to say we're coming out of a pandemic. How were weddings
Hmm.
before COVID and how are they now? Like when you think about, what you do in terms of decorating your services, how
Hmm.
has that changed?
Well, we had some major changes in weddings. Pre-COVID weddings, weddings was great. The bookings were just up there high and
Hmm.
steady, and the numbers were huge before COVID. Now, in this era, now that we're in COVID, Now we tend to lately have a lot of weddings that are downsized to more intimate events. It's more intimate now, as far as the weddings is concerned. Hmm.
Okay, okay. I mean, I know that will save some people, with budgeting and all of, and all of that. That will definitely help with that. For those of you who are joining us, we are talking to Latoya Lewis. Latoya, you didn't say the name of your business, Exquisite.
Exquisite
Yes.
Weddings. Exquisite Weddings is the business. I'm the proprietor of Exquisite Weddings located here in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. So with Latoya Lewis, you'll hear more about what she does, but we're talking about the biggest mistakes, wedding mistakes people make with as it relates to decoration. So go ahead, if you have not invited someone, go ahead and invite someone to join us. We also want to shout out our sponsors. We have Signature Choices, Here to Please, Style Me Pretty by Shadra, The Creation Nail Lab by Anna. We also want to shout out um, not insurance management, but also Freeport Insurance Agents and Brokers and Bahamas Realty. Thank you so much for your support of Unique Couples um, platform and what we are doing to build stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. So tonight we're talking about an expert, a wedding expert. She glamorizes places, like she makes it exquisite. So the name definitely fits Toya. The name definitely
Hmm.
fits. Tell us, what are some of the biggest wedding mistakes, like as it relates to decorations, people make?
Well, I would say one of them would be venue selection would be one of them.
Mm,
Um, Being whether it's indoor or outdoor. Um, I would say that the reason I say that is because some venues would require more work than others,
okay.
inside and maybe outdoor. But when it comes to an outdoor function, you're required to bring the indoor outside. So another part that would play with that would also be budgeting. You know,
Mm,
the budget would be important factor with that as well because sometimes an outdoor wedding can cost just as much as an indoor or even more depending on what you have to do outside. And
okay,
then
okay.
of course, yes, of course, it's best to always have a inspiration. So once the client knows what they want, then you can better go ahead and make suggestions to them. Hmm.
Okay, okay. So
Hmm.
coming up with, okay, where is this going to be? And usually people, do you find that people would come up and say, well, I'm going to think about the decorations for this place, or most of the time they're choosing some place that has some kind of sentimental value. They want to go to, a particular place because it brings back some memory, or someone in their family went there, or do you think that they just think, oh yes, this place would be, it'll look good, and I could just imagine the person decorating it. What is that like? Have you heard any couples speaking about the venues, or they just come to you and say, this is where I want it. Do your magic.
Sometimes they have venues in mind, and then a lot of times they ask us for um, our recommendations as regards to venues. So yeah, sometimes they do have venues in mind.
Okay,
And
okay.
yes, it's if it's sentimental, then we go and look at it, and then we tell them what is needed to be done within that space. Um, and then we look, like I said again, we go back and we look into what they would like to spend for that day, and then we make decisions based on that.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So those of you who are
Hmm.
watching us, if you have any comments or questions, make sure put it in the chat. Stay tuned until the end. Latoya will tell you how to get in touch with her. But if you have any comments, takeaways. Okay, so those of you who are engaged or thinking about getting married, this is definitely you definitely need to take out your pen and paper and write some of these tips down. So the first thing
Hmm.
you said was as it relates to the venue. What are some of the other mistakes couples make when they are thinking about, decorations and choosing a decorator or anything for their wedding?
Well, with the venue and choosing a decorator, sometimes persons already have their their person of choice in mind that they already want to go to. So sometimes that is straightforward, and then sometimes it's not. Like I said, you just have to make suggestions to them based on. But what I normally tend to do, I normally ask the client what is their inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and so I need to go based on the inspiration of the client, and then I'll be able to make the best selection for them to tell them whether or not this venue would be the right choice or that venue would be the right choice. Um, Outdoor weddings, when you're outdoor, you're working against Mother Nature, so you don't know how the elements will be on the day of the wedding. So when you make selections with design choices, you have to pick the ones that would be best suitable for that space.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Awesome. Any other mistakes people make as it relates to wedding, um,
Well, the
decorations?
mistake would be, well, as it relates to wedding planning as a whole, the mistake would be sometimes they plan too late and it's too late. So they need to give themselves some more time to plan to actually get what they dream of for their wedding day, because that's a special day. That's uh, uh, a occasion that is going to be a memory for a lifetime. So sometimes they find that they didn't plan early enough, so they're not able to do the stuff that they wish to do
Mm-hmm.
on that day. So sometimes they really need to. Sometimes they find themselves giving them asking for more time and pushing the date back if they really want what they desire for that day. So I
Wow.
guess it's just the planning phase of it. Try
Wow.
to
So
plan earlier. Yeah.
people actually had situations where they moved their wedding date just to
Yes.
make sure that they had the decoration and had all of that sorted out.
Yes. To have the stuff they wanted on that day. So yes, we have persons now, even when they plan at the last minute, of course, they would already have funds in place to do that. But those who don't, and of course, you coming into it, you don't have a clue of what the fees are for services with all the vendors that you might need, what is ideal for that day. So when you find out the fees and then you work the numbers, then you see that you might need some more time.
Wow, wow. Okay, okay. So I know for some people they I don't know, you could let me know how it has been for you because I can imagine you've had a whole lot of different type of clients, right? And so I
Yes.
remember like for my wedding, for our wedding, I think it says my wedding because sometimes it's my wedding.
Hmm.
It's not his our wedding. It's
Yes,
like
the bride, the
it's the
bride.
bride's
It's
wedding,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Everything the bride wants. So for me, during that time, it was I didn't really make a big deal. I knew the quality of work that the person
Hmm.
did, and I just knew that okay, this is the idea. I just went with a theme and said, this is my idea. This is what I want to see.
Yes.
After we had our meeting and everything, this is what I wanted to see, and
Hmm.
he just took it and ran with it and
Yes.
accomplished that just so wonderfully. But then you also have clients I can imagine who would come and say, okay, no, a little to the left, a little to the right, and or maybe don't have an idea at all of what they want to do. How has that experience been?
Well, usually with minutes like that, for starters, we have different packages designed for different collections. So I would show them collections that would start from, like, I have a package that starts from simple elegance straight up to luxury. So you can pick which suits you best, what you like for that day out, and then I can tell you which one of those packages would be more in the price point that would work better for you on the day of.
Okay, so they would have to have at least some idea. Money plays a big part. Yeah,
Yes.
I can imagine money would play a big part in what they do, and yeah, so I don't know if you've seen couples. Do they usually come and like, oh, um, fuss while they're doing this, or do you usually just see
Yes,
brides?
they do. Yes, they do. I
No.
have a handful. I have a handful that sits in the front of me every other week. Um, but the reason of that is sometimes too, you try to, I tell them to try to limit themselves to too much opinions as to
Hmm.
what they're doing for that day.
Okay.
Remembering that the day is the day for the bride and groom, so that's their day.
Hmm.
So to keep the ideas and the thoughts that sentimental the both of them more intact, rather than being so open to too much opinions of
Mm.
what's to do on this day from family and friends and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
it's like, and like we would say, when we're dealing with couples and working with couples and guiding them through, so many different marriage things with marriage. This is like after the wedding day now. Sometimes we let those outsiders, not know their boundaries and come into our marriage and dictate how things should
Yes.
be in our household. And so from the wedding or before the wedding, when you're planning and doing these decorations and having these things, you have to get to the point where it's you and your to be, your
Spouse.
spouse to
Yes.
be,
Mm-hmm.
instead of bringing in all these persons and like you said, having all
Yes.
of these different opinions, because that could be like too many cooks, you know,
Yes.
spoil the pot.
Behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, that conversation is to be different. Yes. Yes.
Wow, yeah.
So
So
some
that is
things
that
is
is
you.
definitely a
Yeah.
mistake. That's a big
Yes, it
one.
is.
That's a
But
big one.
I
Go
always
ahead.
recommend that. I always recommend that. But of course, most weddings do. You always seek counseling before a marriage because a marriage is a lifetime commitment. So you want to know for sure this is what you're getting into, and this is what you're committed to stay in. And it should be a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
It is not like that for everyone, but it should be. It should be a once in a lifetime thing. So that's a big decision to be made.
Wow, yeah, that's it. Because and I can imagine too, because I know about some of those budgets and some of the money that people
Hmm.
pay to get those luxury packages and everything. It's like they they're bringing the outside in the building. So just doing the
Hmm.
complete reverse and just really have their place looks right out and really looking great. So they spend a lot of money, not just on the decorations for their wedding, but for everything as it relates to the wedding, and then forget the relationship between them and their
Yes.
spouses
Yes.
to be, and then forget about the marriage, which should be a lifetime. So the wedding is just like this is the beginning of
Yes.
the rest of our lives. So yes, you
Yes,
want
it
it to
is.
be great, but don't just spend so much time making that occasion special, and then don't take that specialness um,
Yes.
into your marriage as well. All
It
right.
should also be, it should always also be a fun process too at one point. I mean, it can
Mhm.
be stressful at times, but you try to have some fun out of it during the process of the planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a mistake I didn't make. As it relates to decorations, I didn't make the mistake of trying to decorate for my own wedding. I mean, some people can do it. That's great. If you're doing that, that's fine. Go ahead. If you decorated for your wedding, go ahead and put that in the chat. If you decorated for your wedding or you had someone else do it. But at the end of the day, like you said, you want it to be fun. Some of the things I remember
Yes.
from my wedding day, exhaustion, like,
Yes.
because up
Mm-hmm.
to the night before, I was trying to do some things that, I shouldn't really have been doing
Yes.
to get things the way I wanted it to go. But, I left, at least I didn't have to worry about that decoration part. But some things we have to kind of like leave to the professionals and let them
Yes.
handle and outsource so that you can enjoy the experience. And I think sometimes we kind of tend to forget to enjoy the
The
experience.
experience. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
We
and
tend to do that.
the stress factor, it could play a toll on you coming up to the wedding day. So it's always best to, if you can get professionals to offer you a service for that day, it's best to get a professional service because it could be stressful at times, but you want to relax. You want to be a relaxed bride come on your
Mhm.
wedding day. You want to be beautiful. You don't want to have that stress on your face that you can see
Yeah.
that you had a whole heap of headaches along the way. So, yes.
and
I
can't
always try
enjoy
to
the
tell
actual
them,
day.
yeah, I try to tell them on minimum time, at least try to have everything out of the way no less than a month before, so they could just sit back, relax, and just wait on time. Yeah.
Wow, wow. That is definitely good. So, what advice would you give couples who are planning for a wedding? And as before you answer that question, as I think about experiences and the things that couples could do, need to do, and experience is a big thing. Experience, with unique couples, we always talking about experience. Experience is a big thing. Enjoying
Mm-hmm.
the process, enjoying the experience, enjoying the actual wedding day. It happened to me. I think it was like a
Uh-huh.
week before my wedding day. I don't remember the scientific name, but those of you who are in the Bahamas, you know what I'm talking about. I got pink eye. Like, really? I'm
Oh,
like,
geez.
who gets pink eye
Wow.
before the wedding day? Like a week before. So you should see me trying to count
Mm-hmm.
down. Oh my goodness, my eyes are gonna be red. Where did this come from? It was awful. And that was like a reminder that hey, so much was going on. You was doing too much. Slow down. And yeah,
Yes.
so sometimes we don't enjoy the experience because we're trying to do the event when we could actually get people to help us with that. Help is always available. So, what is more
Yes.
important? That's what you have to ask yourself. What is more important? That you did
Yes.
everything or that you
Yes, when I
enjoyed the
started
process?
out,
Hmm.
yes, when I started out in the past, I've seen some brides make that mistake of trying to do it all, and like you said, on your wedding day, you might have thought that okay, I don't have the budget for this, so I want to do this, and I don't want to pay anybody to do this at this time. I want to try and do it myself. Um, I've seen occasions where I have persons show up to my house late at night to say, hey, I how much is the fee? I'll hire you in the morning because
Wow.
I think I had it. I can't do this.
For the next
I
day.
can't for the next day. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, it got stressful to a point when you have sometimes you have family members and friends promising you that they're gonna help you do this, they're gonna help you do that, and all of that. And then comes the day before the wedding, everybody is busy with their own agenda, their own schedule, and so
Mhm.
you left in the cold, and that's what it is.
Yeah. Sometimes when if you
Mm-hmm.
want to see ugly, you'll see that at a wedding, right? People promising you, to do things and they don't deliver. That could definitely be
Yes,
harmful and
that's a big
hurtful.
mistake.
Yeah,
A big
big
mistake.
mistake, big mistake.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you have to check their track record and do you really want to leave that to just anybody or somebody? Some things just aren't worth having the stress about when you could enjoy the experience more. Enjoy the experience. We're talking about that. That is
Mm-hmm.
just so worth, everything. Just enjoying that experience. Just starting
I
your life together, like how you want it to
mm-hmm.
continue. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. I said what I was about to say is I try to tell persons when you have people promising you to assist you with your wedding, just remember that the decisions you make should be your own.
Wow.
And if they want to assist you financially, it's best that they just do it financially. And whatever it is that they want to give towards paying a vendor, then you just do that and make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, okay, I'm going to let cousin Sue or Auntie Mary do this, and then comes the day before the wedding, it's not done, and
Mm,
then yeah, that could be a huge mistake. So it's best to just ask them if they want to assist. You let them know what it is financially to assist, and you make that decision and you deal with that process. Um, Also, it's best to, in most cases, I always try to tell persons, try to hire a coordinator, an event coordinator who can coordinate and help you up to the day of the wedding, straight till the process is completed, because that saves you a lot of headache too. And it saves you time and a lot of stress. They take that on. They take that on mostly for the
yeah,
bride and groom. So it's good to have a coordinator on hand to assist you with that process.
definitely. I think that is like one of the best advice ever.
Yes.
Just having that because some things you okay, if you're coordinating your own wedding, like who's going to be at the back to direct when it's time
Yes,
for, simple little things like for to roll out the red carpet. Who is going to make
yes,
sure, okay, cue in the musicians for when you're coming in. So it's just like
yes,
those simple little things that you don't think about that you could get caught up with. So definitely having a coordinator and in on the planning and what's supposed to happen with the decorator or the decorations and all of that stuff will make um, your
hmm,
wedding day super, super
yes,
exciting for you as well. Because sometimes we, kind of get caught up with the event and we don't enjoy the experience. And we definitely need
yes,
to
yes.
enjoy the
I
experience.
I find myself on some occasions, and when we're at an event in a venue, and I see that there are some things that are not in place before we clear out, and then I start to ask myself, like, who's the vendor for this? Who's the vendor for that? Because I know I offer complete services, so it depends on what service the client gets with me, but I still try to ensure that those things are in place. Like if we're leaving a room and I know the cake's supposed to be in there a certain time, I don't see the cake. I want to know who's the cake, who's the pastry chef. Sometimes I have to make phone calls because in the industry I have the connections with all of these people, so I know who to call. Um, if I know you were supposed to be doing something for that day of that wedding and I don't see it in place in time.
Awesome, awesome. So that
Hmm.
definitely will be a great help. So I know we're wrapping up the
Hmm.
conversation. I don't know if you have any more of those mistakes that people make as it relates to decorations when they're planning for their wedding. If not, you can let us know what is your advice? What advice would you give um, couples who are planning for a wedding?
Well, what's best now, the only plus side to this COVID era is, like I said, the intimate experience.
Yes,
And so, because of the intimate experience, you are now, as you downsize, you are able to upgrade if you like. Whereas you can do something more luxurious on a smaller scale, you
yes.
know, on a smaller scale. So the decor, you can uh, do it up a notch and then just downsize those guest numbers. And most importantly, now too, you would like to make sure you have a guest list. You know who's invited. Um, so when it's time for them to be seated, you ensure that the right persons are in the room. And then the seating chart is good as well. You can have a seating chart so persons know who's seated to the table with them. So to provide them some type of comfort. So yeah, this time it's a plus to have as well. Hmm.
Okay, what about choosing choosing a decorator? Any advice on what process or steps they could do to kind of like finalize that? I know you said most people have an idea of who they want, but any quick tips on that part of it?
Well, in the industry, we all have our different styles
Mm-hmm.
in which we do decor. And for me, I don't call, I am not the decorator. I'm an event designer because I can create designs according to themes. If someone gives me a theme, then I will redo my due diligence as research to ensure that everything was intact with that theme for that day. So that has to do with the design aspect of it. Um, but yeah, like I said, people know who they more lean towards as far as they're looking towards. But the biggest factor that boils it down to is the price.
Mm,
The price pays that's the number one factor,
wow.
you know, number one factor.
Awesome. So
So
definitely need to make sure. Okay.
yes, so everybody, like I say, sometimes you may be looking at the price, but then again, um, everyone's execution and quality is not the same. So you would have to look to see, make a wise decision with that.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
So definitely making sure that you know who and what they offer and if it aligns with what you want for your wedding. Those of you who are watching, go ahead, let us know your takeaways. Um, you should have written what, yes, you should have written your decoration, what theme you had for your wedding, if you had a theme. Was your wedding
I
something that was, go ahead.
I remember the other day when my I had a sibling who got married, and he dreamed of a winter wonderland.
Oh, I
So
remember
he
that.
said to me, yeah, he said to me, I want a winter wonderland. So whatever it takes to give you that experience, that's what I want. And he said to me, well, you don't have to tell me. I know you're gonna do your research, and whatever you put together, I'm sure I'm gonna be pleased with it. So it was a winter wonderland. It was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like you
Hmm.
said, event designer, right? Just being able to come together and put the theme together and just bring that across where you actually feel like you are transported to this place and you can enjoy the experience and be totally immersed in it. That is a
Hmm.
gift. That is a gift. So like I said,
Yes.
when I think about Latoya, I think about beautiful spaces, I think about happy thoughts, I think about couples getting together. So Latoya, let us know, let our viewing audience know, how could they get in touch with you, and then with services. I know, I think I've heard something about destination weddings for those persons who are not in the Bahamas, but
Yes, we do.
this is the most beautiful place on earth to come and get
Hmm.
married. So let them know
Yes, it is.
about those services as well.
Well, we offer destination and local services where we cater to resorts here locally on the island, where we do a lot of destination weddings as well as local weddings. And even though the name Exquisite Wedding is the name, we do all events where we cater to all. We do showers, parties, banquets, funerals, you name it. So we do all events. Um, Exquisite Weddings, like I had mentioned to you earlier, I think I had said to you earlier, a lot of people don't know this, but the primary part of Exquisite Weddings is rental.
Okay.
So it's Exquisite Weddings, rental and services. So rental is our primary business, and secondary is our decor services. Well, we offer decor services the most, because I'm the lead designer for that part, but we do that as well. So, like I tell persons, we have a standard of which we start our services at for decor. So, if you give me a budget and the budget price point is not within that range to start a package at, then I would make suggestions to you to do a rental on some of the items that we offer for rental for a DIY service.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so how can they get in touch with you? Um, where can they find you to, see some of the
We
work and all of that?
mhm. You can visit our website at Exquisite Weddings Bahamas, and you can reach us on Facebook at Exquisite Weddings Rental and Services on Facebook, and Instagram is Exquisite Weddings underscore Bahamas. And then, of course, the Gmail would be Exquisite Weddings Bahamas at Gmail for those who would need to send an email. And the number for contact would be via phone call or WhatsApp 559-5070.
Okay, say the number again for us.
The contact number would be 559-5070.
Awesome. Okay. So there you have it. You can reach, um,
5070. 559-5070.
okay, long number. Hi. Okay. Definitely we'll have to put that number in again. 559. Mhm.
5070.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you could go ahead and reach Latoya and the exquisite team, and not just, like you said, not just the actual wedding, um decor and stuff like that, but you also offer um, the packages where people can actually come and rent as
Yes,
well. Rent.
we
Okay.
carry a wide variety of rental selections, from the furniture, from tables, chairs, the regular folding party chairs, Chivari chairs, and then the luxury throne chairs. You name it, linens, all of the table decor items, detail items. We carry all of those. Yes,
Awesome, awesome. So, when you're thinking about your wedding and maybe doing a vow renewal or just having some special occasion, birthday, anniversary, or any such event, there are some ways that you can. There are some ways that you could make mistakes as it relates to that decoration. So, go ahead and think it through. Make sure you have your theme. Make sure you know the biggest thing is also is of course going to be the budget. So make sure you have that all sorted out. And then if you want everything ready made and done for you that you don't have to stress out, definitely go and contact Latoya. And then if you want to rent, like she said, you can go and do that as well.
yes,
But it all relates because what you are doing and how you're starting your relationship together as a couple will kind of translate into what you do in your marriage. So we want you to
yes,
start off great
yes,
so that you can end great, and you'll hear more about
yes,
that. For all of you in audience, you'll hear more about that and how we're working with persons to make sure that couples to make sure that they start their relationship on the right foot and so that their
yes,
marriage can begin on the right foot and then take it through. So that's definitely a call for the marriage of your dreams. So go
yes,
ahead,
yes.
connect with us for the marriage of your dreams. Of course, connect with us too. Those of you who are married already, connect with us in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. We have trainings and giveaways and challenges going on there now that you could be a part of. So go ahead and connect with us there. The link is in the description. And then, of course, for those of you who want to take your marriage to the next level of loving, you definitely need to join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club to get more for your relationship. So go ahead, connect with us. See Latoya. Latoya, thank you so much for
I like to
sharing
thank you. Yes,
those mistakes that we make, and hopefully
yes,
now that they've watched this and will share this with their family and friends, they won't be making those mistakes. And I think that that big one with the boundary issues is definitely something that couples need to be aware of, because if you
yes,
have people from the beginning trying to get into conversations and
yes.
making decisions that you and your soon to be spouse should be making, and you take
You'll
that
have the
into your
same problem
marriage,
in the marriage. Yes, you will.
problems. That's
You
like
will.
something you can't, it's just going to be hard to break out of. Not that you can't do it, but you want
Hmm.
to start right so that you could definitely continue on forever. I don't even want to say end right, right? Continue on forever
Yes.
because we want the marriage to
Hmm.
last a lifetime. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing, Latoya. I don't know if you have any more final words, but we could say,
Well,
go ahead.
like I always tell my couples, I continue to keep God at the center of the marriage. And like I said, try to keep so much opinions out of the marriage
Mhm.
because that's where the confusion comes in. If it starts like that, then it will surely end like that.
Wow.
So you just want to make sure that you keep that intact and everything will be great. Everything will be great. I'd like to
Yes,
thank you
yes.
again, once again, Linda, for having me on your show this evening. It's been a pleasure, and
Thank
it's
you. Thank
always a
you.
pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Latoya. I love Exquisite. I send my people there,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, you do. I've already done two siblings' weddings so far, so yes, I know. I'm quite fond of you.
And I'm trying to get people to say, like, listen, my birthday is coming up. I don't want to decorate for my wedding. I want certain themes and stuff. We have unique couples
Yes.
that I don't want. So get Latoya. It's Latoya or nothing. Anyway, I I'm
Yes.
gonna go. So yes, so we're building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We want your relationship to be strong and healthy and happy because we know it impacts your children and who your children become. So go ahead, if you're not a part of the marriage club, go and join us in the marriage club. Get your daily drips of love, the things to do and say to your spouse on a daily basis. Join us for the challenge. The link is in the chat as well. And go and make your relationship great. Thanks for joining us. This has been Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. Thank you so
Thank
much. And
you.
we will see y'all in the week. We'll see you in the How to Strengthen Your Marriage Marriage Club, How to Strengthen Your Marriage um, Facebook group for Sip and Spill on Monday nights at 7:30. We have our After Dark on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us for that as well. And definitely get in the group. If you have not heard of the How to Strengthen Your Marriage group, then you would have heard about it or need to hear about it. And definitely, if you're married and serious about your marriage, you would be in it. So see you all later. Love you. Bye.
Good night.